Hello and welcome to a first time exciting tutorial. I am going to show you what we're going to be doing right now. This is from a show I'm doing called Vamp. You should go check it out at vamptv.us because if you do, I will continue doing tutorials. So this is what we're going to be doing. Exciting and dramatic. Dun dun dun. Anyways, alright. So, let's just jump into it. What we got here is some titling. And let's just start this guy from scratch, shall we? Alright, so let's do a new one at 29.97 at 1280. 10 seconds, that's fine. We'll call this title 01. You can make a template for this, make it go easier on yourself if you want to use it again. So, I'm just going to fit this. Get rid of my thingies. Actually, no, put those back. Just kidding. Alright, the font I used for this is Librit. It looked vampiric, so I figured I'd use it because it is a show about vampires, but not really like what you've seen. So, but you should go check it out. It's a fun show. I'm in it. My friend Todd's in it. And it's about a vampire band. You should go to the website, which is right here. And you can get the first episode and our 5-song EP, which rocks some serious ass. Alright, so we got our title. Now, to make this come in, it's really up to you. I personally just had it rotate in, so I enabled per character 3D, and then I did rotation, and that allows you to, move these around in a fun way. So all I did was turn that to 90, and then just had it kind of twist in after, we'll say 15 frames, and we'll see what that does. Beautiful. It's the best text I have ever seen. So with that being said, let's see what this looks like if I actually, yeah, a little bit of velocity goes a long way. Maybe extend it a little bit. I mean, that's amazing text. Excuse me, allergies. Okay, so we got a title. Then what I did next was I had it fade to red because vampires and blood go together like spaghetti and blood. So all it is just a hue and saturation. If you just say it's just the opacity, it's just pretty simple. So I'm just gonna paste that right there. VampTv.us. It's pretty much the best website ever made. So yeah, we got that. Obviously you don't have to use this font either. I mean, this is up to you. This is just the font that I'm using. You could obviously change it to a crappier font. Alright, so what we're going to do next is I got my title. I'm going to make my displacement map, which is just the blood splatter. So we'll say blood splatter. And you just can grab the handy dandy Andrew Kramer stuff, which everyone and their mom has, and if you're an After Effector, you should own it. So if you don't, go buy it, because you need blood. Everything you do should have blood in it. So you just move these around however you want. I think I used this one right here, which is number 2, for a lot of it, just because I like this sideways spray it had going on. So I think I just used 2 of those if I remember, and just had it going the other way. And I think I timed them a little bit out, so it was like, no, it looks like a Rorschach. Hang on. All right, so it was like, so it's really up to you how you want your blood to look. It doesn't need to be over the top spectacular for now, but you get the idea. So, moving right along. Um, you get your title, you get your blood splatter. We put this in a new comp, and I'm going to call this title 01 dash liquefy. I added the liquefy just to give it a little bit of, you know, pizzazz and oomph. So let me show you what I did on here. So the other version, if you look, changes, and then it has. You can get pretty intricate if you want with this. It's really up to you. I just kind of had, you know, where the extensions were, just kind of like, you know, and I have two different ones going on. It's really up to you. It doesn't need them per se, but it's just kind of fun to add them because it adds a little bit more movement to this logo. So we'll make a new adjustment layer, which is Control Alt Y for you PC people. I'm not going to do it for Mac. You can figure it out. I'll give you a hint. You just move one button. I've got a liquefy, which is under distort, and I'm going to shrink this warp tool down a little bit. Like 30. It's up to you. You know, you just start bringing stuff down. And I got this too. I wanted to learn this, figure this out after seeing Dawn of the Dead, the intro, which I think they actually used uncured ink, and they used like a compressed air thing or something, and just blew it away. But if you haven't seen that intro, go look at it because it's really, really good. Probably the best ever made. So I was trying to figure out a way to do it just in program. Obviously, it's not as good as theirs, but theirs probably took a hell of a lot longer than this is going to take. So it's a win-win. You know, so. But if you really want to get crazy with this, if we keep shrinking these down, you know, have like little, change the pressure maybe like a lot more, get like little tributaries coming off these guys. Maybe shrink this more so it gets nutty like a fruitcake. You know, it's really up to you. I mean, I think the initial one I did actually took some time with when I did this, but you know, sharpness, and obviously this is the same tools in Photoshop, so hopefully if you're an After Effector you understand how Photoshop works and understand the liquefy tool. So basically this is this. Ooh, I got an email. So, you know, play with it as much as you want, yada yada yada. And then the lovely thing about this plugin, okay, so we got that. And how this plugin works is if you go to this distortion percentage, so it just kind of warps everything you just did, every stroke and stuff. So add a keyframe, and maybe, you know, 5 frames down, we put it to something crazy. And as I said, a little bit of velocity goes a long way, so we don't want to just abruptly stop, so we'll bring that down. You can be fun and hit F9 or whatever, and or F10, I can't remember what it is, to get your shortcut, but I don't like the easy ease on here. So we got that, flips in, and then you can duplicate it again if you want and get really crazy, and then add a so now it's, so let's move these down a little bit, slow it down a little bit. Okay, so now we got some crazy looking. Okay, so then we go back to our project, we grab our liquefy that we just made and pre-comp it again, and we're going to call this one, let's call it displacement. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our blood splatter. I'm going to bring in this one because I think I took a little more time on it, but it's basically that. So okay, so we're going to put another adjustment layer in, put it underneath the splatter layer, and we're going to go to Effect, Distort, Displacement Map. We're going to set the displacement map as a splatter. We're going to pump these up to 50. Not 450. How about 50? And I'm going to set this to green also. Or red, rather. And you see that's kind of like picking up some of those splatters in there. I mean, you can tweak it more if you want. It's really up to you. But if we went in here and actually did the single strands on the liquefier, it would actually look a lot more detailed and look a lot cooler. So, another thing I did just to add a little, you know, extra something something, I added a slight scaling cascade to about 110. So, you know, slight movement, it always looks better. A little bit of movement goes a long way, just like a little bit of velocity goes a long way. So, we got the blood doing craziness. And that's my sound effect for that. And then I think all I did after that was do my displacement. Just probably call this final, so I don't get confused. Final. And I had the initial one, I believe, just kind of had like an image wipe out. So, and that is, yeah, a CC image wipe. So if you go to your final, to have it disappear, I had it go to transition, the image wipe. Let's see what that does. I think it was just a little bit more fun than a fade out, I guess. I guess that was my initial idea. Ooh. Okay. And so that's pretty much it. So, yeah, go check out vamptv.us. Go like us on Facebook. Go like us on YouTube, which is YouTube/VampBand. You can see the first episode and a few of the other side notes. Episode 2 is coming out shortly. Episode 3 will come out shortly after that. But in the meantime, have fun with this. And the next thing we'll be doing after this tutorial is I'm going to show you how to do a little card tracking into this thing we did. Do this. So, if you want to do some fun little motion tracking, little blood. This is something we did early on for it, and I can show you how to do some of these cards with the shadows underneath, tracking them in there. So that's the next one, so stay tuned. But in the meantime, go like vamptv.us. Go download songs, do whatever. The more people that do it, the more likely I am to keep doing these. So, Excelsior. In the year 2525, if man is still alive,